Hello and welcome back. Before we start this week's podcast, we need to discuss our Patreon. Sam, what is our Patreon?
Our Patreon, Tom, is patreon.com/FromTheBoundaryPodcast. And on Patreon, it means that you can support us.
If we sound professional, it's because we messed it up the first time. And how much does our Patreon cost, Sam?
Our Patreon is £5 a month. And for that, oh, fucked it up, I'm not restarting. For that, you get these episodes that you're listening to now early. So rather than getting them on a Monday like everyone else, you can get them on a Saturday. You also get a discount on merch, which we haven't started yet. But when it starts, you'll get a discount on merch. There's also going to be extra episodes. We're going to probably aim to do one a month, potentially, probably. And we give you priority when it comes to contacting the podcast.
Excellent. Thanks, Sam.
Any other questions about it?
Not for now.
So, to reiterate, patreon.com/FromTheBoundaryPodcast for just £5 a month, which is less than a pint in most places, isn't it? Basically,
down here it is, yeah.
Basically, buy me and Tom a pint a month, and then we'll be very happy with you. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to From the Boundary, recorded in a loft in Kent. Let's see what these two idiots have to say this week. Before they start, though, I must ask you to follow, like and repost all their amazing social medias. Search From the Boundary on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok for updates and clips.
Hello and welcome to From the Boundary. I am Tom and I'm once again joined by my co-host Sam.
Before we start this episode, though, we need to talk about Quick Fix Bat Services. Got it right that time. Nailed it. Henry, who's been on the podcast, probably OG sponsor now. He has now offered, it's not now, he did it before Christmas, but all listeners to the From the Boundary...
Get to the point, Sam, the point.
I think him sponsoring a podcast that two people that got ADHD is probably not the best idea, but never mind. Back on point. Henry gives all of the listeners to From the Boundary 5% off all his services. And all you have to do is message him, ask him for a service on Instagram, say you've come from us, use the code word boundary5 for 5% off. That is Quick Fix _Bat Services. Quick Fix _Bat Services on Instagram. Message Henry, go back, watch the episode that he's on, come back, watch this episode. Everyone's caught up. You know who Henry is. You know who we are.
We know who Henry is.
We know, well, and the listeners, because if they've not listened to the... If they've not listened, everyone knows who Henry is. And then...
And they get to know who we
are.
Yeah,
then you get to know who we are, because that was a few episodes, and you'll have some episodes to catch up. And then, come back, listen to this episode, and then we're done. I feel like that was
don't think we ever got to the point.
No, the point is that Henry, if you message Henry at Quick Fix Bat Services, he'll give you 5% off. All you've got to do is say Boundary 5, and it's 5% off all services. Perfect in time for the new season.
Amen to that. Hello and welcome back to From the Boundary, where we've got a special episode this week. We are joined by Lee.
It's not just a special. It's not just a special episode for that. It's a special episode for the reason that we've got to share a microphone because we just found out that one of them doesn't work. So you talk
to me, to you. Feel like chuckle, brother. So we're gonna have a chat with Lee about his cricket, sort of his involvement in cricket, really.
If you recognise the voice but don't recognise the face, you are on social media the VR cricketing guy.
Yeah, VR cricket guy. Been doing it for about 2 years now. So,
do you reckon there's people that are going to listen to this audio one and just be specifically go to YouTube just to be like, I wonder what his face actually... Because normally we only see that bit of you.
Because I post quite a lot of stories as well. So every now and then you'll see my eyes and you got a lot of people saying, oh my God, it's the first time I've seen your eyes. Or, Christ, I didn't realise you're so old. You know what I mean? That's the problem.
That's a bit mean, isn't it?
With the headset on, I mean, I look about 30 years old, I think. You know what I mean? But when I take the headset off, oh Christ, now I realise I was out of breath all the time because there's no bloke.
Well, it was I think you're also the first guest we've had that's announced that they're coming on because it was me that came on your live
the other night,
on Tuesday. And we actually got announced that he was coming on, so we haven't got a secret guest this week.
I think I was going to do that. I was going to post a story giving your name out and stuff. I thought, I better not.
Doesn't matter either way, to be honest. So for those, and I will hand the mic back to you, I promise. I'm not going to hold it. I might do. I might just leave you in the middle. See how long we can leave you there. For those of you that don't know, you are Are you social media creator? How would you frame what you do?
Again, being like 48 years old, I didn't set out to do what I'm doing now. I posted a video about 2 years ago. My wife bought me the VR headset. I was watching Facebook one night, and I've been a gamer since like 11 years old. Spectrum 128, first like home computers. So I've always done gaming. And in the back of my head, I always thought, Christ, it'd be great to play cricket one day in VR. And then a couple of years ago on Facebook, I saw it. I thought, Christ, it's actually now real. The wife's logged it in the back of her head. Christmas time come round. I've got the best toy in the house. I've got 4 kids at home. They're all getting their clothes and stuff. And I'm getting a brand new headset, a VR headset. So I went from there. And then I just posted a video on social media, Instagram, first of all. And I was walking around. It's one of these stately homes around Maidstone. You've got all these like fancy medieval houses. We walk around there. And I got a notification saying, "Oh, congratulations, your video's been shared." But I've seen 10,000 times. I thought, okay, I'll post another one.
Ask some advice because we've not
so that was like the first time I thought, oh, maybe there's something in this.
Yeah.
And then that 3 or 4 posts later, one kicked off and went up 5 million. And I thought, oh, okay, I might just investigate this a bit more. Instagram was doing great. I had a lot of interest from Asia. It was mostly Indian followers at first. Okay. And then obviously the algorithm kicked in and realised it from the UK. Then it sort of gradually moved over to Australia and UK. So we've got a lot of Australian followers, a lot of English followers now. So yeah, that's basically about it. It just kicked off from nowhere. Now I record a YouTube video once a week, cut it up into lots of different bits, and I get a video every day published. So it's quite a simple process.
We are definitely doing this wrong.
Yeah,
I think
we post once and we do the whole big video, then take 2 clips from it.
I think I got a bit of advice from a social media manager a while ago. Right. It was a while ago now. They were setting up it's an Indian company again. They were setting up this website where you answer questions and you score ranks. But it's basically it was a website for cricketers. And it was an interesting concept. Never really kicked off. The person who contacted me to try and promote it, she was a social media manager. She'd been there, done it. And basically just said, right, what you need to do is Instagram. This is free advice. Right?
This is
work for me. On Instagram, 3 stories per day, and 1 video a day, and if you can, do one photo a day. I've kept with that for 2 years, and it's continuously growing. I haven't gone down yet.
Yeah.
So, I've never had to do. Oh my god, I've lost followers. But to be honest, if it happens, it happens. It's not a full-time job, thankfully, so I don't have to worry about it too much.
So with the VR headset, what did your wife? Was she buying it for gaming purposes? What was she?
She just bought it because she must have saw my little face light up when I saw the cricket. I didn't realise all the other games.
Yeah.
It was more a case of, Christ, VR cricket is now real. I was really a bit worried about it being arcadey. I used to have the Wii, so I used to play Wii sports stuff.
Yeah.
If you time it right, it's golf and table tennis wasn't quite, the physics weren't quite there.
Yeah.
But it was a good game. But I was worried that once I had it, I wouldn't use it because it's crap. But no, as soon as I loaded up cricket for the first time, I thought it's like massive leap. Oh my god, it actually does exactly what you want it to do. There's no, it's no power bars. There's no stamina bars because that's you.
Yeah.
You're the power. You're the stamina. So yeah, it was a bit of a relief once I realised. Oh, it does what it says in the tin. So
it's amazing how the technology moves on as well. I remember with even the Wii wasn't that long ago, but I remember when you sort of first using it, and you kind of we was sort of. My family was like, well, you got a belt on. You can't have the belt on. You have to weigh yourself and stuff. You take the belt off because that's not actually how much you weigh.
I'd love to have seen you at Weight Watchers just going in and going, everything off. Just. What do you mean Tom's been arrested again? It's a long story. He's trying to.
Is it the same place? Funny enough. When I keep going back.
What, to Weight Watchers? Yeah. Well, you'd think after once they would have kicked you out, wouldn't they? But never mind. I've got to be honest, me and Tom are, I wouldn't say we're technophobes, are we? Yeah. We're a bit how's the politically correct term? Technically backwards, I think is probably. So we have this. This is our setup.
This is perfectly fine. I think there's no need to have anything else.
There's a big bright light.
Yeah.
Which costs about £10 to run for about 30 seconds. But other than that, well, because I think I first came across your videos, it was probably before we started this. I mean, we've been doing this now, what, just under 6 months?
Yeah, about 6 months, yeah.
I think I came across your videos and I could not get my head round how it worked.
No, not do I. I don't know.
Oh, fair enough. That's fair enough then. Yeah. But then when we knew you was coming, because we spoke just before Christmas about you coming on, and I've been watching your videos, I've been on your lives. It just seems to have especially like latest update, I don't know when that came in, just seems to have gone, like you said, not quite Wii level.
No.
Maybe like PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's jumped right up. I mean, I saw the stadium tour you did of London, and there was like the detail of that you won't have done, because I don't think you know how to use TikTok, do you? You just go on TikTok just to like whatever video I tell you to do.
You can say what happened earlier. We're moving into the flat and
you
trying to call me.
Tom's just moved into the middle of town.
Oh, okay.
And his phone signal's not brilliant, and you know how like broadband providers won't be rushed. Yeah, he's not getting Wi-Fi for another couple of weeks. So I tried ringing him earlier to be like, I don't know what to do, we've got a microphone down. And then I got an answer when he turned up at my door and got signal. So the detail, the London Eye, Elizabeth Tower, it is just, I mean, the big wooden plank going up the middle was a bit questionable.
Yeah, it's the first headset I had was a Meta Quest 2, and to me that was perfectly fine. And then the Meta Quest 3 got released about a year and a half ago, and I resisted. I didn't have the money, to be honest, but luckily my TikTok started kicking off, and I joined their creator program, so you basically get paid per video.
That's for the popular ones.
Yeah,
we're not going to get that.
If you're able to post minute-long videos, and they do half decent, then you get paid. It's pennies. But if you get one that kicks off, happy days, and then it accumulates over the months. I saved up about £300 over about 4 or 5 months. So it's not a lot of money.
And you've got a wife. How the hell did you manage to keep that?
Yeah, no. It was a deal that any money I get from the VR stuff is my pocket money, basically.
It's a company. It's a work expense.
I've been starting selling the bats as well recently, and that's kicked off quite a lot.
Because that's not the bat you've got. Is not a standard.
No, I've been sent many bats. I mean, these companies are. The most satisfying thing I find is getting sent free stuff. I love it.
That's another thing we're working on.
Again, it's not. I'm not really interested in the money side. I mean, I've never asked for any money. People say, if I send you this, can you promote it? I go, yeah, no worries, no problem at all. I think only once I've said no, I can't. It's crap. Someone sent me this bat. It's supposed to be a cricket bat, but it was thinner than a golfing handle.
Oh, right.
So really? I did reply to him and said, look, I'm not going to review it because I don't want to put a bad review out, because I'm just not like that. I said, look, modify it a little bit, turn it into a bloody golfing VR thing. So, yeah, I've had a lot of things sent to me. There was a company in Wales who sent me more or less all the IPL shirts.
Oh, wow.
That was brilliant. And they've also put my name on the back. Very nice indeed. What else have I had? Bats.
The IPL is the Indian Premier League.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Not that much of a
It's like, I asked you if you watched the IPL, and you haven't got Sky.
No, I don't have Sky.
Exactly, so you can't watch it.
It's
all right. I'll just pass it to you and just be like, yeah, this is what the problem.
Excellent.
Translate.
It's a company in Wales. They used to have a shop at what's the Welsh stadium? Is it Cardiff?
Municipality.
Yes, they used to have a shop there, I think. And they just like, we'll send you anything. If you
I was thinking of Glamorgan going.
No, it's Glamorgan. Yeah, Glamorgan. You're right. Yeah.
Sophia Gardens.
They had. I'm pretty sure it's Glamorgan. They had a shop there, and he just said, right, if we send you these shirts, I said, look, they're like £50 each. So where you wear them? Of course, yeah, I'll wear them. Some of them are a bit tight. So that's the problem when you try and put a tight t-shirt on and you're putting yourself out there, and you expect the worst, you know what I mean? Especially when you've got a bit of a beer belly and all that sort of stuff.
Preach.
You can't hold it in too much. I mean, trying your best to suck
I
it
need
in.
to stop wearing white.
That's the only. Well, I don't know if you get onto the subject of trolling, but recently did you see the video I did when I misspelt patience?
No.
Oh Christ! I put a video out about the importance of patience when trying to build innings, and it's up past 6 in the morning. And to be honest, I did Google patience because I couldn't remember if it's E or I. It was around because I'm a little bit dyslexic thing anyway. But I got to remember, is it E or I? So I quickly Googled it. Saw patience. Oh, it's I before E. Brilliant. What I didn't realise was I was spelling patience as in hospital patients.
Oh.
So I've put it on out there, a big label on the video saying patience. Of course, within about 2 minutes, I've realised, and then someone commented, mate, it's patience, and it's giving me the right spelling. I thought, do I delete it and change it, or do I leave it? I thought, fuck it, I'll leave it.
You've got to be quick in that decision.
I left it. Unfortunately, that video's been seen now 3 million times.
Oh.
So all the trolls are out. It's patience, and I give me all the spelling, and then basically call me all the names under the sun.
But the initial message was a positive one, was a nice one. So just sort of.
But what I find funny is it's been viewed about 3 million times across various profiles, but people still comment, mate, you spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
Christ, mate. I know.
Let it go now.
I knew when the first person said it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you're the 436,000.
It gets a little bit boring, but I do my best to reply to nearly every comment. When it first kicked off, I was like, the phone would go ping, got a message, oh Christ, I better comment because of the algorithm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'll still do that. I still go. Oh,
What, to every comment?
More or less every comment.
We haven't got comments done for this reason.
But it is a case of you have to do it if you want to continue the engagement. You have, that is.
I have no Wi-Fi. That's your job.
It's like the wife. You know, over the years is to watch these social media influencers. That's the word. I don't like that word, but that's the word she uses. And she said, "I'd love to be an influencer." But it is still a full-time job. It's not just like, wake up in the morning, say hello to my fans, and that's it. No, it's even what I do. I still have to reply to comments. I have to do my hour video once a week at some stage, and then still got to edit it, still got to cut it up, still got to upload it all. So it's not.
I think that's what a lot of people don't realise, though, isn't it? We had our first troll last week, the week before. So I think we worked it out in the grand total since we started this in. I think was it just after my birthday in June.
It was still last cricket season, I think, wasn't it?
So it would have been. We started it sometime last summer.
Yeah.
I know this because we normally record in the loft and it gets very warm in the summer.
Yeah.
We had our first another week with no episode. No wonder your numbers are abysmal. Now, I'm not going to be like take her through the heart.
Exactly.
But I mean, I messaged you, didn't I? I went, we basically came to the agreement last week. Did we do a double? We did a double episode. We've done a few double episodes when I've worked. I was like, I'm pretty sure we've only missed 3. One when you was ill. One where I think I was working, or you got caught at work, and last week. But even so, that comment, I was like, we got on here last week, and I was like, right, you're not even a Patreon. No. But then what we should have done, because I think just after we recorded, I saw the video you did about the comments when you was like the hurty words, and it just opened a Guinness. We should have done that. Yeah. That would have been much better therapy for us.
What I don't understand is what they expect me to do with words like that. It's like, am I going to start crying? I'm 48 years old. I'm not going to start crying or give up doing it. Just as a couple of people said awful. Not horrible. I wouldn't say the horrible things.
Sounds like bullying.
Exactly.
Schoolyard bullying.
Yeah. So it gets a bit boring. That's probably the best word I can describe now. It's more boring than anything else. Oh, I've got another one call me out of breath. Oh, another one asked me once I'm fat. Another one saying, and then, but sometimes I think, well, if they're right, I am fat. I am out of breath. You know what I mean? So I can't really say, no, I'm not. I can't argue with them because they're just stating facts.
Yeah.
So, but I think the one that sometimes gets a little bit annoying is the fact that I am playing a game, 48 years old, and I'm still playing computer games. But then I look on TikTok.
You're doing well doing it, though.
But I look on Instagram, TikTok, the amount of men similar age to me, they've won their racing simulators, the aircraft simulators, all sorts. So I think, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least yours is a bit more energetic.
But yeah, that's what people don't realise. It is energetic. That's the problem. A lot of the best comment I normally get is, "Why is he out of breath standing still?" And I look at it and go, "Yeah, I understand what they're saying, but I'm not just playing for 10 seconds." You see on,
no.
I'm probably going for like 3 or 4 hours. 3 or 4 hours.
You are building an innings.
So yeah. So and during the summertime, I'm in the kitchen and it's absolutely roasting. So yeah, I've even got a few T-shirts saying it's not sweat, it's progress, and I try to find funny things out of it. I even got that patience video where I misspelled patience. Got a T-shirt made with Gary Barlow saying have a little patience, but again spelled it wrong.
Oh, brilliant!
I was going to wear it tonight, and I forgot to wear it tonight. Well, I might wear it, but it'll be my next video. When I play my next game, I will wear that. So people can so I don't take myself too seriously. I can see the face side of it.
Yeah, I think that's probably important. So I'm actually a sports journalist. So
really? Okay.
Sometimes in stories you get lots of, you get lots of comments and people. You sort of read. You always obviously read the comment. People say it's almost like when people say don't look at a league table. You obviously do.
Yeah.
So you look at the comment and you think they've said that. No, I think they're wrong. Or you look at it and go, oh, crap, they're right. Do I go and change it now? Or?
No, I was left it. I thought, I did leave it, because I don't think it would have the engagement. So you wouldn't have got the numbers as it managed to get, and it's made me,
Pretty
quick. So I would, it's just a boredom factor. I wake up in the morning, and it's Facebook. I thought Facebook was supposed to be a nice place. Facebook's a cesspit. Instagram and TikTok are not that bad. TikTok has a really great filter. You try saying anything naughty on there, it's gone straight away. I put something on earlier. I've had some other comment for some other Instagram TikToker, and it wasn't anything nasty. I just put nay. That was it. But because it wasn't a real word, they deleted it.
Oh wow!
So you do struggle to say I think you can swear on TikTok word wise.
I was going to say we're screwed in.
You definitely are.
I bleep if I do swear, I'll bleep it out just for effect, really. But
Our whole clip, our whole channel will just be a continuous. When I get up and running, it's
So, in terms of people sort of reaching out to you and saying, can you advertise this or that? Do you remember the first time that happened?
It was the company from India that was launching a cricket. I think it's a cricket game. It's really weird. They sort of pitched it to me as a virtual world of cricket, but online. So you go in and you watch virtual cricket players playing cricket, and you sort of bet on the scores.
Oh,
but when I watched it, it was rubbish. I was really excited for it because they really promoted it really well to me. We were Skyping and I can't wait for this to start. It was disappointing. That was probably the best phrase to use. I don't think they're still going, and it's also been promoted by one of Sri Lanka's all-time sort of. I can't remember his name. It was not Sangakkara. I think that rings a bell. Joyce rings a bell, but he was busy with it as well, so he's obviously getting paid a bit to promote it. But it was a bit weird. I didn't quite understand what it was supposed to do, but I think it's more of an Indian thing.
I was just going to say, from the sound of it, it's like that. It sounded like in the arcades, the horse.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you put your money on. You don't know. You know that you're probably not going to win, but
it looked great. I mean, they put a lot of money in the look of it. But I went on it for the first time, and you get all these questions asked, and I didn't quite understand what I was supposed to do.
So it's like one of those, you've answered all the questionnaires, and then it's like, enter your email to one of them, the quiz things you see.
Yeah, but again, it looked amazing, but it's just didn't quite understand what was happening.
So you said you were a gamer, whether you still want to admit that at 48. Obviously, IB Cricket is the one that you've made your name. Let's go with it's a major name. Yeah. But have you done the other? Like I play Cricket Captain.
On the PC.
I play it on my phone because I'm lazy.
Okay.
Is there other games? Like I've seen you did a video. Was it last week where you did your top 5 games that aren't IB Cricket?
Yeah.
And you had what I noticed was apart from the one sort of Call of Duty style one, they're all sports games. Is that your go-to?
Yeah, it's because it's the realism I want to try and experience. So it's like with the golf. Again, it's the graphics aren't amazing. It's difficult to sort of explain that. When you put the VR headset at first, you're not getting PlayStation graphics. Well, what you're getting is immersivity. Immersive.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So
I don't think we're the ones to really say you're wrong.
So yeah, that is the massive thing for me. I'd rather have the immersive.
We're sticking with it.
Because I struggle now to play flat screen games. Now I know what VR is and what you can do. I struggle to play anything flat screen. But yeah, so the golf, it was a case of, right, will it do exactly what you want? It more or less does. Table tennis is frigging amazing with the physics.
Yeah.
Boxing now is my cardiovascular exercise. Again, that's just, it's different than sitting there pushing A, X, and all that sort of palaver. Recently I've been playing Cricket 24 because I can play Xbox games in the headset. You can have like a virtual 100-inch screen now. So it's like playing an Xbox in a cinema. So you don't actually have to have an Xbox anymore. You just have the VR headset. You log in with your Xbox Pass, and then you still need the Xbox controller. That's the only thing.
I think I might cut that bit out because if Rosie hears that, I'm never ever going to be able to get a PlayStation, am I? You can't. You don't need. Lee said you don't need it. I'm never going to get one.
You need the VR headset, and that's. I think they're probably about the same sort of price anyway as like an Xbox or a PlayStation.
I'm not sure if this is helping me or not.
What you can do is you put the headset on, you can go to bed and play back and play Xbox in bed. I haven't done that. Just saying. I think that would be going over the line with the missus.
I was going to say, could you imagine that just going? One of the kids is crying. Hang on a minute. No, you're gonna have to wait.
Yeah, I think that would be a no. I think I might have thought about it when she's on nights, but no. I don't think that would go down very well at all.
How are the kids? Oh.
What kids?
So going back to IB cricket,
yeah,
I've just blinded myself by looking at the lights. Yeah. I mean, the attention, like we said, the attention to detail is unreal.
Yep.
There's one question that since we said, and I was like, I need to look at videos and things like that. The one thing, when you look down,
yep,
you've got the 3 guard lines.
Yeah.
Can you physically move? Because the reason I ask this is because depending how I'm batting or who I'm facing, depends on the guard I take.
Yeah.
But when you do it and you look down and your bat's there, it always seems to be somewhere between middle and off. Is that just your natural guard?
That's my guard, yeah. I mean, I think after a while you get used to where to stand to sort of be able to get to the pitch of the ball. So, yeah, my natural guard, even when I used to play outdoors, it would be middle. So I was still more or less middle stump here. But yeah, you can move anywhere. So if you decide, actually, I'm going to give myself a lot of room and stand way outside of leg stump, you can do that. As long as you've got room in the house. That's the problem. A lot of people say, can you run out to the spinners? Yeah, you can. But I've got a massive breakfast bar in front of me. So if I did, I'd get a little messy. So yeah, that's why I'm more or less standing still, because I can't really go forward or back. I've got a glass table behind me, breakfast bar in front of me. Pull shots a bit risky, just in case the window's a bit tight. But recently, I've started taking it into my local gym because they've got a big studio. Hardly anyone ever uses.
I saw your one of you doing the. Do you know what that reminds me of? Do you remember Creature Comforts with the plasticine handballs? And we're just sticking with that now. Yeah. The one you did of table tennis there. Yeah. That is like the perfect room. If you had and. I don't know if you can do multiplayer on IB, but if you had loads of you, that would be so fun in there.
It's excellent. Yeah, being able to play table tennis without worrying about hitting the wall, or you can go back as far as you like. It's a different experience, but yeah, it's the only downfall about the whole VR thing. If you haven't got the room, you do miss out on a lot of the games.
Have you actually had any issues with that? Have you
no? Touch wood. I'm quite sensible. I don't want to break anything. I don't want to break it. The fact the hand controllers, break one of those, that's another like 70 quid down the hand. So exactly. So I think I'd rather not break anything. That's why you never see me doing the bowling. There is a bowling mode on this cricket, but if you do that, you can see it with your hands. So it's not big deal anyway, to be honest. So yeah, that's another question to get asked a lot. Can you do bowling? Yes, it's not big good.
Because you said about you started doing the sweep shot. And I think is there one video where you get sort of you do it, but your back leg goes, and I was watching that going, the close horse is going.
Yeah, it's the sweep shot and the reverse sweep is, again, any shot is possible. it's not one of those there's no predefined shots. There's not a case of you have to do.
If you do a certain motion.
No, it's everything. The bat does exactly what you do. So if you're not straight, then your bat's like that. You're going to miss the ball. So that's what I said earlier. That's what I was most relieved about when I first started playing it. It's all predefined. What's the point? It's my mind to go back to the flat screen. The problem I have with doing any type of sweep shot is getting back up again. Yep. That's because I'm getting on my knees are buggered. So you get down right, then it's like, oh Christ, I can't
come back up.
So yeah, but I'll try and include all that. My YouTube channel, it's basically the videos on there are over an hour long. Where I don't really edit it. I just whack it on, and then if people want to watch it all, they can. But for the YouTube, for the TikTok and Instagram stuff, I just chop up into minutes. And seems to be doing all right.
Have you had to exercise outside and just after playing, it's been like, this isn't as good?
No, I haven't played out. I haven't played cricket in real life, as they say, for 8 years.
Right.
So my back went, my knees are gone, my shins are gone, my ankles are gone. So I can barely run, to be honest. So I barely get a jog out of me these days. So
Same.
I was just when he was saying about it does what the bat does. I can imagine that. I was just going. Let's put it under the arm.
Yeah, exactly.
That would just be the motion of our bat, wouldn't it?
We'd be leaving reviews of the game. Well, it just doesn't last very long. No, that's the players.
Exactly that.
How long did it take for you to? So I've seen you. Obviously, you've worked. Did you work with Kent, or was that just a?
No,
Did you just reach out to them and say?
No, they came to me. It was one of those things where I got an email saying, "Would you like to come to our media day?" What's a media day? I have no idea what they're talking about. But basically, a couple of weeks before the season starts, they have all the press, all the media in.
You'll be there.
I'll probably there. I'll be there.
Could you ask me? Just get a few in.
Is this
April
before last season?
Yeah, this year one has gone.
Yeah.
So
I love how you two probably saw each other and have no idea.
No, I missed some of it because I didn't really know what I was doing there. And I used to work there 25 years ago. I used to work in the Abrams Levitt Sports Centre with Brian Luckhurst.
Okay.
So I worked there for about 4 years. So it's nice to go back. I mean, Matt Walker was just about in the second 11 when I was there. And it's a funny story actually because I arrived at this media day, not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
I had all this gear with me. I was looking around thinking, well, I know where I'm going. I know everything about this place, but no one knows who I am. So I'm thinking, this is a bit strange. The first person I saw was Matt Walker, walking towards me.
Yeah.
And I thought, because we used to chat quite a lot, like 25, 30 years ago. And I thought, I want to be recognised me. And you're right. He said, what are you up to, mate? I went, I need to go and find this room. When I started, and I looked at him and went, you don't recognise me, do you? And he went, oh, shit. No, I don't, mate. I'm sorry. So I explained who I was, and all of a sudden he went, yeah, I remember you now. I don't think you do.
I'm just being polite.
Exactly. So it was all right. But so I had the headset at the Kent Cricket Ground, and a lot of the players actually come up and had a go. And the biggest relief was when they all said how realistic it was.
Well, yeah. If they're saying it's realistic, then
massive thing for me. I thought, if they said no, this is terrible, it's not real at all, I'd have bombed.
Was it I think it was Juggling, wasn't it? It was the first one who went. Was it a fast bowler?
Yeah, he loved it.
And he sort of went.
As soon as they all start flinching and ducking and getting out of the way, or going, oh bloody hell! I can't remember his name. Is it Geeson?
Clarkson.
He was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. He was jumping around, and they all loved it. So I was so glad with that. So the video I made of that. Anyone says, "Is it realistic?" I will just watch this video.
Yeah, watch what the professional players say.
It works an absolute treat for me.
I don't think we would have bumped into each other because I was probably walking around outside, and I reckon you were probably in a room.
There's a new bit under. Is it Frank? Next to the couch.
Yeah.
More or less behind the bowler's arms. They put like a coach's room.
Yeah.
So when all the coaches can sit there now and watch the players properly without having to be in the changing rooms.
Have any of them since that day said, "Can I borrow it?" No. Just for a bit of, if it's that like.
No, they all said how much I enjoyed it when I put I tagged their names in there. They all said it's great fun. Is it Quinn?
Yeah, Matt Quinn. He's quite a character. Yeah,
because he came in I gave him the headset. He went, "Did you know there's someone on Instagram doing this?" I went, "Yeah, it's me." And he went, "Of course it is." So yeah. It was one of my.
I suppose that's probably one of those where it's just like they haven't put a face to the name yet. It's
exactly.
just like
again, to be fair, like I said, most people have probably only seen that bit of you, haven't they?
Yeah, that was one of those days. I thought, well, yeah, if I didn't do this, I wouldn't have done that. And it's going back 25 years later. I mean, brilliant. I was there with when Dave Fulton was there, Aravinda de Silva, Mark Benson. This was going back quite a bit. Dave Fulton and Matt Walker, they were best buds.
Yeah, they're
coming through together.
Yeah, the kids are godfathers of each other, aren't they?
That was right.
No,
but I know what you mean. You're too polite. I thought you just looked at it.
As long as everyone knows what I mean. I don't. Yeah, Matt Quinn's the one that was. I think was it last? No, it was 2 seasons ago. He's the one that went out and basically faced one ball, came in for the last ball of the innings, and the umpire said, "What guard are you having?" He's like, and then he hit it for 6.
Excellent.
Sounds like me. Sounds like the kind of thing I'd do. I'll have that back if you don't mind. It does feel like it should be a bit like that, doesn't it? Obviously, you say you don't play now. Body can't do it. Do you think you'd see a difference so let's say like we play, I mean you mostly play Saturdays, I mostly play Sundays. If you did that all the way through the week and then on a Saturday had to go outdoor in the real world, as you said, do you think you would it would hinder you? Do you think it would be how?
Yeah, again, another question I get asked every day. I can't answer it because for me personally, I have to be honest. The big difference is just the weight of the bat. Simple as that. The bat I use is light. I have used heavier bats, but when I'm playing for 2 to 3 hours, the constant back lift for 2 or 3 hours every 10 seconds, it kills this bit here.
We don't have that problem. We're never out there for long enough.
No one does. No one stands at the striker's end for 3 hours. And every 10 seconds.
I didn't even think that. You go down to the other end, don't you?
Even if you were batting for 3 hours, you'll be waiting for 5-10 minutes for the bowler to go back to his mark and stuff. So, the heavy bats that were sent to me were lovely, absolutely amazingly made, beautifully made. VR immersions, give them a plug out. But they were really nice to me. They sent these bats, really, really nice. I just couldn't use them after a while. I was thinking, why are my arms really hurting the next day? I thought, these bloody bats, they're like really heavy because they were injected. They were threading lead weights into the wood to make them feel heavier because you have to have them half the size, otherwise you'll be smashing your windows, throwing a full size bat around. Yeah. So they have to cut most of the bat off, but they then put rods inside to
give you the full.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I'm looking at my bat over there, going. I'd love to see them try and cut that in half.
Yeah, but my first one I made myself. I just got a bat from Sports Direct, $9.99, cut it in half, put a few screws in to hold it all down. Got a treat.
So, really, if Troll's not included, if you're not playing outdoors, that is a little bit of therapy for you, as much as.
You're right, absolutely right. It's really nice to actually be able to stand there and sort of. I mean, I've never played in a stadium, but that's the big difference.
I mean, that's probably one thing that's less realistic, isn't it? The size of the London Stadium is 200,000 people.
I've got the more stadiums coming out because it was just before Christmas. I did a whole an hour going through all the stadiums, so I knew over Christmas I'd be struggling to play because my room like this had the Christmas table in it, so I'd know where to play. So I thought I have to make some content that's going to last through the Christmas period. So I went through every single stadium. So I think there's another 5 stadiums to go through yet. But yeah, they were made there. The last 2 or 4.
That's the only thing that throws it off slightly with the videos is you got 2 or 3 of it, like the one of you. I think there's one where you say about why you're always out of breath and you explain that you record for 2.5 hours, and then the next video is the stadium tour with the Christmas tree in the corner. It's like, I think you might have had this one in the bank.
Yeah, exactly. I think I might have to just release them all in one go, but no, I'm just going to have to drag them out because I never know. If something happens during the week, I can't do what I do. I need to. I always back in my head. I think we'll normally have about 5 in the bank just in case anything goes wrong. But no, so far touch wood. In the last 2 years, every single day video. Bang.
Obviously, you say you haven't had any sort of issues knocking stuff over. When you get to 50 or Or Hundred obviously can't give it the massive celebration.
He's not
but
running around the living room.
No, I always raise the bat.
Yeah.
I always make a little joke with the animation, so they never clapped. I
was just going to say, I was like, that would be the next update, when it is when they start, like the wicketkeeper starts giving you sledging, you'll be like, hang on, I can just turn you off. That's the sort of thing you need. Is like do you remember when, was it Call of Duty? They had a game. I can't remember what one it was, but one of the levels was, it was, but basically you had an option to skip it because it was so. What was it called? It had is it No Russian?
don't know.
I think it was called No Russian. It was basically you walk into an airport and commit a terror attack. I can understand why they said skip it, and as I've just sort of said that in my head, I did think, yeah, all right, I could possibly understand why they maybe gave this a skip button. Do you think there's room for, like you said, the sled? Like obviously you've got to keep it still children friendly, but could you have like a sledging option?
Like to. It'd be easy just to have a sledging on and off. But there is talk of IB Cricket 2 coming, but when it's coming, no idea. They're a bit hush about it all. They don't like to give anything away. I've signed a few non-disclosure agreements with them for stuff they've told me in the past. But no, no one seems to know anything about it. But I think it should be, worth the wait. But again, they update the game, I want to say, every couple of months. So they do keep on track of things. But a couple of months ago, they decided to make it harder to score runs, which is brilliant. I think it's brilliant. But a lot of people complained.
because it then becomes too. It's hard, isn't it? Because it then becomes too hard.
I love the fact that it was really hard to score, sixes and fours and stuff. But a lot of people said no. It's never, for them. It's boring. So fair enough. So they increased.
But I was going to say, it's different levels, isn't it? Because you play on, is it Ultra Insane?
I always stay on that. It's
just to show off.
But that's just, otherwise the videos would be very boring.
Six.
So I'll make sure that, to be honest, as soon as I got the game, I made sure that I only played in the hardest level. I didn't want to start off on the low levels and work my way up. I went, I'm going to go straight into hard.
So that was going to be my next question. Did you, did you go to Ultra Insane and go, oh, I think we might be a little bit out of my league here, or did you go in there?
I was out of my league. I couldn't. It was hard, but give it a couple of weeks, you get used to it. I used to work when I worked at the King Cricket Ground. I used to speak a lot to Dean Headley, and he was dating one of my friends at the time, and he came in to sort of pick her up, and he'd just come back from playing for England.
Okay.
And I was talking to her out of interest. I said, how hard is it to face 90 delivery?
90 mile an hour bowlers, yeah.
Because I said, look, I put in a bowling machine and put it onto 90 and just behind it, and you can't even see it. How do you do it? No. Like, well, you don't wake up one morning and face 90 mile an hour balls. You grow up playing cricket, and the speed is faster and faster and faster. You just adapt.
Yeah. Was it because me and Tom have got a bit of a? I'm not going to say we're anti-100, but we're not. There's certain bits of it we like, and there was a video they did last year, and I think it must have been Archer. I think I said they showed a video of. I think it weren't his fastest.
Was it Time Al Mills? It was some.
Oh no, I can't remember. It was one of them. Yeah, it was somewhere between 90 and 93 miles an hour, and from it leaving, I don't say bowler because I don't want to get it wrong. Leaving bowler's hand to, I think it might have been Tom. It's weird how you remember. I think it was Tom Banton batting. 1.8 seconds.
Yeah. And that's the same as short leg and silly Madon. It's just like if the ball comes off the bat.
Yeah. Unless your hands are in the right place, you're not going to catch it.
No.
So,
I remember that for next season. Dropped another one. Hands are in the right place.
And in terms of they sort of updating the game all the time. I was growing up as a big Football Manager fan
because everyone was.
I've still got it.
This is the first year I haven't downloaded it. It's the first year because I ain't got time to do it. So.
But the thing that I'd sort of looked out for was the preview video that Miles Jacobson did, because it actually always explained what had been updated. Whereas you look at something like FIFA or now EA, whatever it is, but they don't really change anything, do they? But obviously, are they sort of? Is that just as you're playing the game, you're sort of finding out these updates, or are they quite?
When you put the headset on, and what normally happens, the screen will come up. You'll choose what game you want to play. You press IB Cricket, and then it normally will say you've got to download the latest update.
Yeah, okay.
Or the as you go into the locker room, changing room, it will look different. Like at the moment, it's still looking like Christmas. So they've got their next update. You'll know it's an update because there's no more Christmas.
Well, at least it's not Easter, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah.
There'll be love hearts.
That's true.
So that's it's always a bit of a nervy thing when the updates are announced. You think, oh, they messed it up.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done anything that makes it stupid. But I think touch wood, they always the update is normally good. They do it for a reason. They don't do it for no reason whatsoever. So I think there will become a ceiling for it. I think, but hopefully they'll release a new version completely and see how that goes.
If they do include sledging, I tell you might get quite interested, and there'll be be a lot more interested in wicket keepers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Maybe that's some mode.
Yeah, wicket keeper mode. Yeah. Wicket keeper mode.
There is a lot of people saying about that because there's a couple of games come out recently for goalkeeping.
Yeah.
Easily adaptive for
wicket keeping. Yeah.
I saw your one of was it Barclays Premier
League. That's got nearly 1 million views because again that was a case of they contacted me, said right, we're releasing Premier League player. Would you be interested in reviewing it? I went, yes, please. and I knew exactly what to provide. This needs to be done now. So as soon as they gave me the code, downloaded it, played it, filmed it, edited it, whacked it online within 3 hours. And so yeah, exactly. So and I had to do that. Otherwise, other people would have had it. And I'd have lost £100. So those 3 hours, it bagged quite. I'm hitting quite £100 in that one. So yeah. So yeah.
That's goalkeeper. That was goalkeeper, and was it headers?
Headers, but the interesting thing about that game is they've recreated some of the best goals in the Premier League in virtuality, and they will. Then you get plonked inside that, and then you have to. It was difficult to work out what was going on at first, but basically you become some of the players. So it's recreated. So when you receive the ball, you have to do exactly what the real player did at the time. Yeah, it took a long time to actually realise what the hell's going on because with the new games these days, in the old days, you get a manual with the games.
Yeah.
These days, you don't really get any instructions whatsoever unless you do the whole tutorial thing, which not liberal actually.
No one's ever done the whole tutorial.
With the PlayStation games, you used to get the booklet, turn it over because it had all the controls.
Yeah.
I don't care about the rest of it. I just want to know how I start it, how I kick someone, and how I run off.
So these days, you don't really learn it until you actually play it for about 3 or 4 hours. But yeah, it was an interesting concept. But what I didn't realise was that as soon as I put that video online, a lot of people were saying it looks exactly the same as a free football game you can download for free. And it's basically you're playing football with your hands because there's no feet in VR. So basically your hands are your feet.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people were pointing out there's a free football game which does exactly the same. Exactly the same. Where do they get away with this?
Is that one being done by EA? I'm assuming because it's EAFC. Is it by those people? Or is this done by the Premier? Is it separate?
Well, it's all fully licensed. So
it must be EA then.
I don't know. No, it's not EA.
To be fair, that would scare the shit.
Razzle, Rizzle. Something like Rizzle or something like that.
That would scare the shit out of you over those headphones, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It was an interesting concept with the VR goals, recreating that. It was very, very well done. But again, it's as soon as you realise, I've got to play with my hands like a puppet sort of thing.
Yeah.
It took away the imagination a little bit.
Can I just say, I would then sit, if I played that and I just sat on the sofa and just went, yeah, I could have put it in the top bins as well.
So I suppose something like rugby, they can't really do it yet because that's
Sorry. What happened? Did you just run into your daughter? What happened? Well, I was try-saving tackle that was.
In terms of that sort of game, there is a very, very good NFL game.
Right.
That's a quarterback, obviously, and a blocker, I think. But it was quite good because you just had to put your hands on.
Yeah.
But with the quarterback mode, it's amazing, and they've done again with the stadiums, amazing stuff in stadiums. Because obviously they do NFL at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, so you can stand inside Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and look around, and it's perfectly done. It's not as good as like
being there.
No. It's not as good as the EA Sports stuff, but again, going back to immersivity, it's give it 4 years, it'd be perfect.
Has there saying, made a joke there about potentially taking out your daughter or something. Yeah. Has there ever been a moment where you've done a video or you've been playing a game and you've finished it, you've edited it and you've sent it off and you've gone and sat on the sofa and your wife looked at you and gone, do you know how much of a tit you looked when you, at 6:30 when you was talking about the cover drive or how they're all out on one side?
I'll be honest, it did take me about 6 months for me to do that sort of stuff with anyone in the house.
Oh, really?
I did feel very self-conscious, even with my own family in the next room, thinking, I don't want them listening to me because it is a bit embarrassing. It took me a good 6 months. Now it's like, right, Dad's downstairs, take the kitchen over. So no one come in the kitchen, and they don't really bat an eyelid. So now I'm trying to go into the gym sort of studio, do it in there. But whether I can, again, my self-consciousness is going to go, people are probably watching me, what the fucking hell are you doing? You know?
See, I wanted to bring this up at the end, but I don't think because I want to start a campaign. Do you remember, is it the Checkmates? The ones that just Checkmates,
yeah.
Sorry, that they went on Sky Sports, didn't they, and did that. It's not miming. Wait,
lip syncing.
Lip syncing. Thank you. I want to start a campaign. You have got to do, even if it's just like one session or section. Commentary. Your commentary on the videos, and I know it sounds like I'm being sarcastic. I'm not. It's brilliant. The one I did with I said about the London, and I think I watched the one of the leg spinner.
Yeah.
I got more from learning. I learned more from that leg spin video with you as commentator than I do with any of them. Yeah, when you're going like, oh, you need to watch the way it comes out the wrist. I'm like, yeah, actually, no, lads, I probably should take that when I go and play.
It's the little details in the game that people don't realise just watching those little videos is there's leg cutters, off cutters, also skid on a bit. So the variation is all there, but you have to really watch the wrist. I
reckon we should start a campaign. I mean, we haven't really got the following to do it. But if Sky Sports or BBC Sport, what's it called? TMS. If they're listening, you need to get the VR cricket guy in just
that would be nice.
Just to do 10 minutes of commentary.
That'd be like a childhood dream. Because I grew up listening to TMS, so going to the TMS box would just be like.
I don't want to ruin your chances, but who's the one that you'd want to be? Who would you be most excited to? Because I've got one.
Phil Tufnell. Sitting with Phil Tufnell. I've grew up with Phil Tufnell. I've read his autobiography, and I think he's just hilarious. Jonathan Agnew would be fine. A lot of people say when I first started doing it, people were saying I'd sound like Mark Butcher, and I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Oh, don't get that one.
No.
See, I think I want to meet that Andy Zaltzman because he lives not round here. He lives down. Is it Tunbridge Wells? I think he lives in Tunbridge Wells, and he plays when he's not touring the world with England. Yeah, exactly. He plays Village League, and I'm waiting for that one where we go. I'm sure I know that now. How do you spell that? It's on the website.
Look at BBC.
But no, I think we should start a campaign. VR cricket guy for commentary.
The only time I've done something similar was when the only massive drawback from the game that I always tell people is the sound effects. For some reason, they get all these details amazingly well done. When it comes to the sound, it's like rubbish. It's terrible.
The ball does sound like it's been thudded off a wall, doesn't it?
Exactly. Why can't you just make it? Surely, I thought the sound would be the easiest thing to do. So what I did, I grabbed a bit of Sky Sports cricket and just dubbed over the sound effects from that. A lot of people said it sounded amazing. And that was when I realised, editing that together, was realised that the speed is, again, Ken Cricket has always said that the speed is really realistic. When I was editing the real sound from the real cricket, I didn't have to speed up anything. I didn't have to speed up the footage to match the audio. So when they were bowling at 90 odd miles an hour, the video from the computer game was matching the length of time the ball took from hand to bat. I didn't have to increase any of the audio at all.
Yeah, I still think we'd spend the whole time going,
Jesus. I did, and I still do. That's what's hard to stress to people. Is once you get inside it, flinching is natural.
See, I'd love to try it, but then part of me thinks, them doors.
Yeah.
I'd play it, and outdoor in real life head goes, quick, run a single, and I'm going into a cupboard.
I've got it with me, and I've let other people use it, but they all come back with rashes on their faces.
No, we will see. We want to see it.
I didn't bring the bat. I left the poxy bat at home as well. But to be honest, the bat is basically like plastic with a handle on it. You know, the guys who make it, they make an absolute fortune out of
You.
yeah. I mean, again, I'm happy to do that. I don't have a problem with that really. So yeah, it's all good fun really.
So what would be? As you know, I'm going to ask that question in a bit because you're saying about the speed. That video you did of the slowest spinner. I watched that going, that's me and you. There was one, the ball comes out.
Though.
No, we're not talking about your bowling. Batting. You basically took this big step forward, and the ball hadn't left. The ball hadn't even made it halfway down. I was watching that going, that's Tom.
Yeah,
that is like watching Tom bat.
That's the whole good thing about the variation. It's there. So you're not constantly going, I know exactly where this is going. I know exactly where it's going. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it because it'd be boring as hell.
Although saying that, the game's pretty much worked out you, hasn't it? By just going field up.
That's one of the recent updates. They now have dynamic fielding placements. Yeah, they'll line up 4 or 5 on the boundary. So that is
4 or 5 on the boundary, on the legs, on the offside.
But again, that's come from an update where in the old 6 months ago, you could score quick 30, 40 runs just by on it into the gap because you knew there's no cover fielder. But now they've got, no, we'll stop that then, and then we'll put a cover fielder in over the first lot of over. So yeah, I quite enjoy that. Again, it just makes you play differently.
Yeah, you seem quite sort of in terms of those problems. You seem quite quite sort of patient in terms of sort of how you solve them. Lots of people, I suppose, probably aren't as patient. And that's the issue they have with the game.
I think you're talking about us or me, who would be like, "There's a fielder there, fuck it." Oh, I'm out again.
It's a frustrating, enjoyable game. You know what I mean? So,
that's the same as cricket, though,
isn't
it?
Again, it's a case of I don't know what type of game I'm going to have. That's again, without trying to big the game up too much. It is the beauty of it is I'm going to play cricket today and I never know how it's going to go. That's what I enjoy about it so much. Otherwise, it'd be boring. Oh, I'm going to play cricket. I've got to get from 0 to 600, and it's going to be really boring. But that's again the problem. There are people who can cheat on it. I don't know how they do it, and I don't know. I don't want to do it either. As soon as you find out, I found out. But yeah, you go on the scoreboards, and someone scored. I think I've got 1,500 runs. You think, so you're never going to be top.
Yeah.
Someone else has got like 1,500 runs. What's the point?
Yeah.
But
it's like finding out the money code on Sims, isn't it?
Yeah,
you're like, I shouldn't, but I really want that television.
Or a Football Manager.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? You can either get
save it before a final.
No, get the editor out. Give all your money, put all the players up to 20. It's great for a season or so in non-league. You know what I mean?
When Ebbs Fleet are flying high and be like Haaland up front.
Yeah, but after a season or two.
I remember that. Showing my age a bit here. So the way that me and my cousin used to cheat on Football Manager, he's probably not really grateful for me saying this. Because you couldn't do the editor. No, that's a recent thing, isn't it?
You did put 4 players in.
Yeah. So what you used to do, the club you wanted, so let's say you wanted to be Man United, you'd then put in a manager for Barcelona who had 500 million, sign some youngster for 500 million, and then it was like you'd get to it and then Barcelona, you'd play the game, Barcelona made the bid, accept.
Yeah.
Your bid's been accepted, made the contract, and then it was always the awkward bit where they go, Barcelona board would like to talk to you about your... And you go, right, we're just going to have... What, mate? I think he's a star for the future, and I think this is a really good deal. Yeah, you're completely bankrupt in this club. And then Man United, and you just go like, has it gone through? Is the money in the bank? Yeah, right, delete that manager.
Resign, done, yeah.
Retire.
It's okay for a little while, then I thought, actually, no, I'd rather go back and struggle with Dover.
Yeah.
I mean,
is that your football team?
Well, I live between Canterbury and Dover, so Dover is sort of the closest. But to be honest, it's Maidstone.
I was just going to say, I'm sure I've seen Maidstone.
Yeah, Maidstone always. All my family from Maidstone.
Okay.
So it's always been. We used to go and watch Maidstone when they was at Watling Street.
Yeah, but before they were in Maidstone.
Yeah. No, they were still Maidstone.
No, but they weren't in Maidstone.
Before MFI built MFI on the old ground, and then they went up. Then they had to start playing at Dartford. We used to get on the train and go watch them at Dartford. Maidstone. And then obviously they had that cup run a couple of years ago. So the old T-shirts come out then. Yeah. they were very tight.
Yeah.
Well, when you started getting that, was that going back to the Trolls? Was that are you jumping on the bandwagon, or was I suppose Maidstone are probably. I'm a Man United fan, but my team is Ebbsfleet because I'm Gravesend.
Yeah.
I mean, Gravesend. what would Maidstone in? Are they National
Yeah,
League?
they're national
That's
now,
it.
aren't they? Yeah.
So are they South? Are they? So they're
They've gone down.
Second. Yeah.
so. When that came, are you jumping on the bandwagon because it's, or was it enough people going, I like that shirt? Because I can't remember.
I'll tell the story. But my Maidstone t-shirts. Before I'd done all this cricket stuff, I used to enjoy watching people doing the Football Manager YouTube stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I love a bit of that. I try that. So I thought, I'm going to buy the Maidstone t-shirt and just do the Maidstone career mode.
Okay.
Yeah, I lasted about 5 minutes. So I've got these Maidstone shirts. So yeah, they come out after that. But yeah.
It's just a bit too far, really. Like, as a team like Maidstone, you want to get to the Premier League and Champions League and stuff. It's just a bit too far.
Yeah, unless you cheat.
Yeah.
And to be fair, even if you cheat, you're still
It's boring.
you're 2-3 weeks away before you're actually
you go
into
for Division 2 yet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I'm in League One, and you start finding yourself basically feeling like, I'm going to fucking Walsall. Right. Well, I know I'm going to win because I've got Mbappe on the left wing. But for fuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna resign and go back to playing for Ebbsfleet. You know, there you go.
Well, go back to Ebbsfleet, and then that lasts all of about 2 games before you go, these players are shit.
But there's all sort of databases now as well, where some people have made database where you can go back to about the 15th level on the pyramid.
Yeah.
Christ, the amount of investment time.
Someone has done, and I can't remember his name. He pops up every so often, even on my TikTok. Who has done a 92-93?
Wow.
So it's like all the players, obviously when the Premier League first started and the teams and that. And my first thought was, got a bit too much time in your hands there.
It must have been ages. That's the other thing recently is watching, like you're saying about the young players coming through, watching players that you still make their debuts and they're retiring. That ages you a lot. Like Lampard, Gerrard, and all going, yeah, retired now. I think, I remember you making a debut. I think they're retiring, but
There was one, you might know it from the Maidstone time, but Ebbsfleet had a player called John Akindi.
right, okay.
He
He was Gills as well, wasn't he?
He was recently at Gillingham. I saw his debut for Ebbsfleet, and then Ebbsfleet sold him to Barnet for a National League record fee.
Fiver.
It was about that. I think we got about 100 grand for it. We got a nice new stand out of it, or a nice new roof.
And a burger van.
Yeah, but then he's now in his 30s, and like you said, he was at Gillingham. I think he's 34 now, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm old.
There's a lot of players that I still look at and say, oh, he's a star for the future, like Rashford. So, well, he's going to be, what do you mean he's going to be? But he's 27, 28 years old now.
Yeah.
Well, now or never, really.
The thing with me is when you sort of speaking to managers, the managers are younger than you. Just like,
Even like in the Premier League, like 33 for Brighton.
Really young.
He's young, isn't he?
Yeah.
Nice. That takes a lot of guts, really, to go into a dressing room.
Yeah.
Looking around thinking, you have no idea who I am.
No.
But you can't really have to crack on with it.
But, it's not Ancelotti. He's one of the big name managers that's never played before.
Mourinho didn't really, did he? I don't think.
Was it Mourinho?
Well, he must have done, but I don't think he ever.
And I think that
He's learned from Bobby Robson.
Amorim's probably. Well, no, maybe Amorim's a bit. He's played Portugal, but.
Sorry, he used to play for Portugal, and you said he didn't play.
Yeah, no, as I said it. As I said it, he's played alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. I think some people might.
I mean, Klopp played like second division in Germany. Mourinho played, but barely. And you're going, Amorim only played for Portugal.
The first time Klopp walks into a dressing room and goes, I think you should do this.
Exactly.
I reckon there must have been players that went, who the fuck are you? Who are you? I mean, I thought that was the last Ebbsfleet manager when he was coming in and going, it's just been the league's just been against us. Yeah. And we all went, you're in for a shock. You're in for a bit of a shock. It's not the league that's against us.
I used to play football in my youth, and most of the better managers we had were player managers. Who were basically just 35 years old, coming to the end of their playing career, and just carrying on with managing, basically, coaching and managing. Because you knew who they were, so you respect them a little bit.
So basically, what you need is a Roy Kent from Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
That would be brilliant. As you know, saying that, could you imagine if? I know you don't have managers and we have head coaches. Imagine if Roy Kent was our head coach. We wouldn't get a game, would we? We'd get dressed out every week, just going,
I don't know. To be fair, you just need to go to the bar with him quite a lot of the time, from what I've seen of it. Just go to the bar. You don't have to be particularly good.
So, you said about was it football or cricket, or was it both, or was it?
Yeah, it was football for a while. I was a goalkeeper. Juggling School of Excellence. But I stopped growing at a young age. I got to about 15 and I was more or less the tallest of my peers. And I just stopped growing at 15. Everyone overtook me. And then, being a goalkeeper at 5'9", at 17, 18, no, it ain't gonna work for me. I've got as far as...
Onana's doing all right.
Yeah, I got as far as Whitstable Town. That was my peak. Yeah, going out for crosses and just getting absolutely mullered by old blokes, look at me and go, Christ, mate, you're going to have a right night.
You're in for a rough ride.
Exactly, yeah, and I was. I mean, even when I dropped down and just played Sunday League in goal, still getting absolutely mullered.
I would imagine that's probably worse, isn't it?
There's a few who sort of knew me.
Just lay one on him as the cross comes in.
Yeah, he's throw him in the box, he can't catch. Yeah, that would be me. And then one afternoon I got a call from the Whitstable reserve manager, so you were playing down at Dungeness or something like that. And I went, I'm playing cricket this Sunday. So that was it. I went, oh, right, thanks for letting me know. Yes, I went out. Yeah. Then I just enjoyed just bowling, basically. I was never with the VR cricket stuff. I'm batting. I was never a batsman. I was a bowler. I was the 16, 18-year-old whippersnapper who would bowl 20 overs a day. You know what I mean? But I just love it, and that's why now can no longer lose a shot. Everything.
Do you remember when we was 15, 16? We weren't doing that.
I think there was no quotas them days. You had a young player, brilliant. You're bowling all day. Nowadays, you can only bowl 5 overs.
I think the spinners can go through, but
spinners still aren't allowed.
Really?
I don't know.
Wow.
Spinners can do. I think it's 7. I don't understand it. They're allowed to bowl 7. But in total, they're only allowed to bowl 9.
Okay.
So why not just let them bowl through?
Yeah.
But yes, pace bowlers, it's 5 then 4, or 4 then 5. I think it's 5 then 4 actually now.
I was all right. I've just enjoyed that whole week's frustration. Just pick up the ball, 21 yards, running as fast as you can, bowling, and then have a beer afterwards.
Funny enough, we had this conversation just before you turned up, where we said, so this is the first winter I've not done indoors. So for the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, it's that Kent, isn't it?
I've done indoor cricket.
Christ, that's a work.
That is
work there when it first started.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but it was just...
That's really, sent me back a little bit, because we used to have the bar there. I was using the tea and coffee and pulling the pints and stuff. But indoor cricket at the Ainsworth Sports Centre was massive. It was huge.
Yeah, from what I can gather, it still is. But this is the first year that I've not... Like last year I played for a different team. I think 2 years before that we had our team put a side out. And I was just saying, this is the first winter that I've not missed cricket.
Really?
Where I've from when we finished in September.
Yep.
I mean, we finished late, didn't we?
Yeah.
Was it first week of September? I think we finished.
I've been later than that.
Today's probably the first day. Obviously, apart from when we had Henry on, who obviously had a look at my bat and went, "You'll get another season out of it." It's probably the first time I've picked my bat up, and that was the first time where I was like, "Yeah, I can." When does pre-season start again? When do the nets start? But
a lot of people started already, haven't they? I think I've seen a few TikTok videos of their first net session indoors. But I've never, as much as I've enjoyed working at the Ainsworth Sports Centre for like 4 or 5 years, I was never a big fan of the nets because there was nothing true about it. That bounce wasn't right. Even bowling machines are my biggest gripe. The old style ones, at least.
Oh, what the ones?
Just kind of just do that, don't they?
Yeah, and then they pick them out. So you don't get any sort of anticipation. You get no chance of creating a trigger movement.
No.
You never know when the ball's coming.
No.
So with the new ones these days, I think you might have a little animation of the
I was going to
thing
say,
coming in.
have you seen that Sixes?
Yeah, they've asked me a few times to go and promote down there.
Can you take us? Because I really want to go. It's quite expensive.
They wanted to do it for free. There was quite. I can't remember what it was. There was a few restrictions. No, I'm not going all. I think it's Brighton.
Right.
I want to go down there, and
I think it's either Brighton or London, isn't it?
I think nowadays, I think they can tour with it. I think they can.
Really?
I think they can pack it all up and take it to venues now. Oh. So yeah, I can't remember why I said no. I can't remember what it was now.
Probably going to Brighton. It's probably enough to say no. You're all right. But I was going to say they have him actually running in, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that's like these days. That's not so bad. But in the old days, I used to think, why bowling machines just didn't do it for me at all. It was like they were never know when the ball's coming. You're sort of waiting.
As a bowler, you probably thought he was going to do you out of a job.
So obviously with sort of VR coming in, and it's sort of picking up a little bit more. So maybe that I have seen better versions, but with loads of wires everywhere. I think they were trying one at Lords a few years ago. But again, that was loads of wires and everything. So that wouldn't.
I was going to say that's what's probably quite nice about yours. He's all in.
Oh God, yeah. It's having the whole thing where it's no wires, just put it on, and you're off and running really.
I think potentially that was very very high. I think what would be potentially quite interesting, because part of it is when I go to play a cricket game on the PlayStation, I'm sort of thinking part of me wants to play for a while and then actually start doing it, and I don't really have the patience for it.
Yep.
But I think what might potentially be quite interesting is if you could actually have a fielding one where not fine leg to fine leg, but if you could actually be somewhere like mid on or mid off.
Would be fucked, wouldn't it? I'm down here, right? I can't hold it up.
Or point or something, and you were actually doing that in terms of some decent fielding positions.
The only problem with that is though, it's the reverse of what you just said about the batting, is that you bat for 300 balls constantly. There's no break. You could have.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, how many times have we fielded it and you get like 3 or 4 overs and you go, "Have you still? I was hopping in. Okay, try it." You would have some moments where you'd just be stood there going,
Yeah.
Imagine going in someone's house and they've got let's say there was a field in VR in 5-6 years, whatever, and they're just doing fine leg to fine leg. You just be like, you must hate yourself. What are you doing to yourself?
How bad at cricket do you have to be to go on a game that you can set the difficulty at and you're still doing fine leg to fine leg?
Yeah.
Have you saved it? Why? Because you're batting at 11. What are you doing at the moment? Just sitting waiting to bat?
Exactly, sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
I think they do that with FIFA stuff, where you would be a position, you'd be like left back.
Yeah.
You had to get like a group of you together. That was an interesting concept. I thought, well, does that still do it?
I think they do, yeah.
Pro clubs, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, me and...
You either play as your team or play as an individual.
I think when it came to me and FIFA, what was about 2021? I think me and FIFA did that, because like Tom said, you get to stage where you're going, I'm buying it, and it does exactly the same as it did last year.
Yeah.
Whenever that Alex Hunter story was, that was
That was
peak.
played, I think.
That was peak FIFA for me. Was that?
So. Yeah,
but you say, again, I'm now thinking, you're saying you get a group of your mates. It would be quite good, but then you would have to have that conversation, wouldn't you? Going,
who's going in goal? Who's going left back?
Like last, right? We're going to pick teams. I'm going to be last one picked.
There is a version. There's a mode on IB Cricket. It's called co-op mode, so you can have a partnership. So I played. My son has the same thing as me, and he lives down in Hampshire.
Right.
So you can bat together. So you do get the different view of being at the non-strikers there next to the umpire, watching the bowler come in, bowl it, and seeing at the end either hit a shot or getting bowled out or whatever. But that was a lot of fun, because you do get to see different views of the whole thing.
I was going to mention about obviously you're a big gamer. Are your kids quite big gamers? Are they sort of into it? Or?
Yeah, they are, I'm afraid.
I love how you're saying that to us.
No.
Did you want to take that to the camera for your wife? I'm really sorry for what I did.
My eldest son is down in Hampshire, and he's a proper PC gamer. He's at EVE Online,
right?
All the strategy space stuff, and now he's obviously getting a headset, and so he plays a bit of VR. My youngest son, he's into the war strategy stuff,
right,
with all the historical maps and things like that. So he's on it 24/7. But I was exactly the same. I can't complain. I was exactly the same at that age.
Is that one of those do as I say, not as I do?
Yeah, my dad. We had the very first sort of Dragon 32K computer, playing games in that.
Right, I'm just going to say, for the whole time I've thought, I don't think he's that much older than us. I know, like, we're 31. Nothing you've said has been like, he's that much older than us. And then you just said that, and I went, I've never heard of it.
No, I'm talking about 32K bit computer. So 32K.
What is it now? 60.
You're into the gigabytes.
Yeah.
It's a terabyte storage wise, but
can you tell that I just bought that? I think we need this to make a podcast.
It was you put a little tape in a tape deck, press play, and it would load the game up after take about 5 minutes.
Are we talking like Frogger levels of game?
Well, just before that probably as well.
Oh Jesus!
So I started very young. I started at that stage. So that's the whole. Probably the massive appeal now is I've been at the low end. I've been at the very beginning. Now I'm thinking I can't stop seeing what's next. Yeah. So that's what I explained to the wife when she's like, "Oh, what are you doing? If you don't understand, I've progressed through the whole spectrum: the Amiga 500, the Nintendos, the
Sega Cast, the Dreamcast,
the PlayStation 1. Christ, that was that was a massive leap. And then now that was VR. It's like,
do you remember when they went?
Next?
Was it PlayStation 3? They went wireless controllers, and it literally blew everyone's mind. How can you do this?
So I don't think I'll ever stop unless the only time I've sort of stopped in the case of I haven't gone out and bought an Apple Pro, but they're like $3,000. So I'm not that invested in it. So
you need these videos to do really well to get in one of them.
There's no cricket on them, I don't think either. So I'm not sure if they're actually designed to be gaming things anyway. So
because what have we done? Hour and 10 minutes, and I've just clocked Meta. It's Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah.
How have I only just clocked that?
Yeah, there used to be a problem at first because you had to have a Facebook account to use it, but I think they've knocked that on the head now. I think that's a bit of a. I think they've got rid of that. But yeah, it is all linked up to Facebook as much as it possibly can. It is Zuckerberg's little baby. So
what you got your cricket, and as I said, you've done your video, and cannot recommend going to see your videos enough because even if it is. If you're a game, the thing with your videos are, if you're a gamer, there's something for you. Yeah. If you're a cricketer, they're for you.
If you're not either, you're what the hell's you doing?
If you're neither, he replies to the trolls.
Yeah, you just see a bald, fat 48-year-old man playing kids' games. Deal with it. I mean.
What game would you now be going, or could do with a VR version of?
Yeah, good point.
Because I'm going back to. Like you said, we said at the beginning, our way of it wasn't even VR, was it? How interactive was the Wii Sports?
Yeah.
You were the character in the game, and you was whatever you did.
I think the games are there. I don't think there's anything I'm going, oh Christ, I haven't done this yet. I think they just need to make them. I think they will get better with the new technology. I think 5 years' time, it's got Christ. Remember 5 years ago when we was playing on the Meta Quest 3, it was really shit. Now look at it. Do
you remember when I couldn't hit a leg spinner? Now I can't hit a leg spinner in 4K.
I think that will be the thing. It'll just be advancements of graphics. I don't think they've not. I think everything, any sort of game you want is already there. Like you've got the boxing, you've got the tennis, you've got sports one, that's all right. And also you've got the Call of Duty style games in VR. There's a game called Contractors. I think it's number 5.
Yeah.
Top 5. Again, that's amazing because you can still hear the people you're playing with around you as well. So if they're behind you to the left, you can hear them to the left. Of the heads. Yeah, so it's surround sound. So it is. Yeah, I don't think there's any game I've noticed apart from Football Manager. Imagine VR Football Manager, but I don't really know what you're doing. No,
you just sat at a desk going, just moving magnets around.
I've been able to watch the game in VR because I remember when Football Manager first brought out its 3D engine. Oh God, it's amazing. I haven't played it this year, so I'm not sure if it's any better these days.
I've not played this year.
No, a lot of people have just gone back to 2D because you can see it.
Yeah, to be honest, I still play on the little dots with, and I'm always 2D with the legs, so you can tell which way they're facing, see what they're doing. So
I enjoy. I mean, they only have the director's view, which is great, but I think I spent most of it in that corner view, so you can just see everything, coming up or down.
So basically, sat in the corner of the stand going,
yeah.
Get on over there.
It's acquisition.
Imagine having a ground and them going, where's the dugout?
Yeah.
Can't see what the goalkeeper's doing. I won't lie. No, mine was, I think, for me, Football Manager peaked when you could draw where you wanted the players to run. I don't know, that would have been... I reckon. Yeah, so you used to be able to, when you position your players, you used to be able to right-click. Right-click.
I'll drag the arrows.
So you'd be like, I want you to make this run.
Yeah.
I was going to say, both of you were looking at me and going, please tell me I didn't dream that. You used to be able to, I think it was you click one way and it would be like, this is where I want you to pass. And then the other one was where I want you to make runs. So set it up and it'd be like a yellow line going here and then a blue line where your fullback's running onto this.
You're saying that there is actually a football game on the VR called Motion Soccer where you can watch the game like that and then sort of direct the players to do that. Actually, I forgot about that. That was one of the first football games I tried. Again,
What are we talking about from dugout?
No, I was talking about you sort of in a sort of God mode where you can watch it from anywhere. You just spin the table around.
Because I was going to ask, what sort of are you an Amarim that's sort of like that, or are you a Klopp going?
Oh no, I don't know. No, as long as they do what they're told. That's what wind me up on Football Manager.
Yeah.
You're given instruction. You're not doing what I want them to do. Why are you doing this?
So, I'm a man. Imagine VR. I think we need to have a word with whoever. Who makes Football Manager now? Whoever makes Football Manager. I think that we need to have a word with them because that would be you're sat there and you're giving it the. I just want you to push that way, and you look to your left, and there's Marcelo Bielsa sat on a bucket in VR. That would just complete it, wouldn't it? You'd just be like, yeah, attention to detail. It's like, do you remember when FIFA a few years ago when Petr Cech was still playing? He had his helmet on going into contract negotiations. Attention to detail, a little bit
excellent.
Lacking.
I like the videos I see every now and then of when they do comparisons of 10 years ago, the faces, and then what they look like now.
And I like the watching their scores as well.
Yeah,
Is it like I think Mbappe wasn't even called Mbappe on the first game because he's not his full name. His full name is Mbappe Lotin, I think. So his first card is like a bronze 67. It just says Lotin, and the only way you'd know is by going, it looks a little like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I'm assuming it's Mbappe, and then literally it's like, and then all of a sudden he's like 100 card and things like that.
Excellent.
Those old days of no graphics and your choice of celebration would be arrow up, the Alan Shearer, arrow down the knee slides. Now you've got, I mean, I can't remember. It would have been about 18 months ago. I played someone's on the Switch, which isn't brilliant, but even that, it's like if you press A twice and up arrow, he does a.
My memory's gone. I won't be able to remember all that sort of stuff.
I'd end up being like Alan Shearer and just having one celebration going, just keep tapping X.
Even the last time I played FIFA, I was just lumping it forward, hoping for the best. But when you see the pros do it at the tournament, thinking, Christ, that's just memory for me. That's not the skill, it's memory of what everything does.
It would be like the playing Grand Theft Auto, isn't it? How long can I drive normally for? How long can I stop at the red lights before I go, I'm bollocks to this. What's the gun cheat code again? Let's get some guns. I've played nice. I want everyone to press together, and then you get to 20 minutes in, and it's like, goalkeeper, boom. Yep, chase it down.
I remember one summer actually, me and my brother. This was peak Stoke City, like Rory Delap, Peter Crouch. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else.
Was the Spanish geezer?
Bojan. Yeah, that was Barcelona's next big thing, and ended up in Stoke. But I remember one summer, me and my brother basically on FIFA, we decided to play Stoke. Career mode, but as Stoke, we were gonna fully Stoke it, and like the lap throw is in, and but it is amazing. And I remember, I quite like at the minute do you know when I think it's on Instagram where they sort of you've got an overview of the goal and you have to, and it's got the pattern of play for the goal.
Okay.
And you got to try and remember which goal it is.
Sorry, my brain was still in FIFA.
No,
I don't remember that mode from FIFA. I've not played it for a while. Yeah, when they go, it's this pass and this pass and then this shot. Yeah. Are you any good at it?
No,
neither am I.
Are you any good at it?
No, I haven't tried it to be fair.
Yeah, and there's a website. I think it's like Football Tenable, and some of them I've got to stage. You know when Wordle was that thing?
Yeah.
I got myself for a month. I was like, I'm gonna beat the Tenable Tower, right? And then it'll be like top 10 Arsenal goal scorers. And I'm like, I got Henry, Bergkamp, Lundberg, and Pires, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And then what made it worse was I got one. I think it was Dutch. I'm a Man United fan since when I was like, for as long as I remember.
Yeah.
Dutch Man United players, top 10 appearances for Dutch, and I went.
Yeah.
Watch this.
It's
Van Persie, Van de Beek, and then I'm going, Alexander Butner. In Premier League, or did he only play in Champions League? Well, I've got 4 still to get, so I'm going to have to take a punt here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Geordie Cruyff would been the one I probably got stumped on.
Yeah, Geordie Cruyff. There was a few there.
Yeah, I bet.
So, what does 2025 hold for VR cricketing? Obviously, you've said
I'm just going to continue to do what I do until it stops. I think because I'll still have a full-time job, so it's not something I'm going to be. It won't. It's not going to pay a mortgage. You know what I mean? So
you'd have to do a lot more videos
and not sleep.
I think the money again, it's one of those things where the money I earn now, I earn by playing 1 hour a day or 1 hour a week. Editing is double that. So I'd say 4 hours a week I would spend doing this work-wise. So I think and I earn X amount doing that. So if I times that by, can I make a living out of it? But the wife would go, no, you cannot. You cannot make a living out of it.
If you're making a living out of it, we're building a shed for
it. I've got a friend who lives behind me. He's a big techno blogger, and he earns money just on YouTube. You know, he's got I think he's got 90,000 subscribers on YouTube. He makes his videos one video every day. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, advertising, and he's it's a 5-bedroom house in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? So he's doing all right. But
so you started pre-COVID with the VR?
No, it was after COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it was COVID, would that how would that have gone?
Yeah, no, I was quite lucky with COVID because I work at home.
Oh, okay.
So to be honest, COVID passed me by. Yeah. Really, I didn't have any special needs or requirements.
Yeah, he worked. Yeah. Not on the phone for 2 hours. I know, but I've just got 150 at the Gabba.
The wife's a paramedic as well, so we didn't have any special needs for COVID. We just carried on as usual. So she went to work. I was at work upstairs in the office. COVID come and went really for us.
Oh, I can imagine that Matt, you'd have to do the homeschooling. If Steve Smith's on 30 and Marnus Labuschagne's on 45, what is their current partnership?
No, put this on, right? You've got to score 50 runs in 8 overs.
Go. I'm just thinking you could make.
Oh, there's loads you could do.
If you need to score 50 in this 20 over game, what run rate do you need to go?
Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
I've just absolutely nailed it.
Have a go.
What's the new thing? Is it not HMP? What's the new thing they're saying is like the flu, basically?
Oh.
But they're saying, it's coming out of China, which makes everyone's arse go tighter than a nun.
The thing is, without going off massively off piste here, but I don't think anyone's going to...
No one's going to do it. Funny enough, I had this conversation with my mum at the weekend. Yeah. I'd take my boy swimming on a Sunday morning. I was driving down and I was like, I remember, I did some stupid shit during COVID. Like, I bought a bike. I think I rode it twice.
Everyone rode a bike and started walking.
Yeah, I remember walking the dogs and just going but I had the skinniest dogs in the whole of England because it's like, I've been in for half an hour, fuck it.
Yeah.
But I remember saying to my mum, just going I did some stupid stuff. And I remember we was driving to swimming and I remember going, I'm pretty sure I rode along here once.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was during COVID or just that's the, what's it called? The memory.
Muscle memory.
No, not, the memory that you remember a bit of it, so you've put another bit in.
Well, no, exaggeration.
Yeah, it could be that. And I was saying about it, and she went, yeah, we all did some strange things. And I went, if COVID happened again now, still with the memory of last time, imagine it, right, so we all need to stay indoors. Yeah, get fucked. Why am I staying indoors while you're having a Christmas party?
They've got a nightmare on their hands, and if it happens again, they could... I think they'll just go, well, fuck it. We'll just have to see it will be like that. If you die, well, we did say stay indoors. We don't want to stay indoors. It's up to you.
Survival of the fittest. All of us on VR headsets going, right, we prove we're fit. What's this?
I don't think we've had a political party in the country that's ever gone, fuck it, let's just see what happens. It will be our advice is do this. It won't be you have to do it.
So basically what we're saying is if we can't get Lee onto Sky Sports, we're going to get him in running for Prime Minister. Lee for Prime Minister just going, what? Imagine, I reckon that must still be a job. Someone is still special. He's sitting there going, it's just
not COVID, it's probably just like health related.
It's little things you forget. They've got the R rate.
Oh crap!
Sometimes you go around shopping centres, you still see the things before, can't you? As well?
And on the door,
here.
I see it a lot in petrol stations. The traffic lights above the doors.
Yeah, wow.
I was like, BP. I've given up taking them down.
About just getting one and putting it in the house somewhere. 50 years time, going, look, get the Antiques Roadshow. How much is that worth now?
this mask,
This mask.
2021 this was.
Yeah, you can get one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gold dust.
And this type of hand sanitizer sold out in 3 weeks.
I look back and you think, fucking toilet roll.
Yeah, toilet
People
roll.
go mental with toilet roll.
So I was a bit late getting furloughed. I didn't get furloughed till nearly 2 or 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of work in London. And I just remember Mrs. at the time being like, I've just walked round to Asda's and it looked like the London riots, the looting had been. Remember queuing up to get into a shop?
Yeah.
Queuing up around the car park. And she was like, there's nothing in there. And I went, I've just walked into Tesco to get my lunch. No one's up here and they're still stocked. By about 3 o'clock, you could go into any supermarket in London, or not supermarket, like the Tesco Metros, the little ones. You could walk into any of them and they'd just be like, going, do you want it? Because we've got 10 and no one's up here.
Yeah, it was strange times. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I remember going to Broadgate Circus for a job, and this was, I think it might have been 2 days before Christmas that year. So it was COVID-19, so 2019. Obviously, everyone had a feeling it was coming, and 2 days before, they're taking down the Christmas tree in Broadgate Circus, and I'm like, fuck it, Christmas ain't even been yet, and they went, they've all gone home.
We was at Detley Hill in the old Christmas show thing, and everyone was listening to the radio, and all brothers came on and saying, right, tomorrow lockdown, everyone left. They were shutting down the shops. This was about 3 or 4 days before Christmas, so people haven't done their shopping. Well, fuck it, we better go and do our shopping before everything shuts.
Yeah, I remember that. That was 20. Was it the 20? I think it was the 23rd. He made the decision when it was Christmas.
Screwed it.
Yeah,
Cause I think it was on the 23rd. He went, oh, by the way, we're going to have to go into another lockdown, so none of you can see your family over Christmas. And I remember being like, because I was going to my mum's, and I remember being like, oh, fuck. Mum, I will come and drop my presents off to you now, because tomorrow I've got to go and get Christmas dinner, because I'm not coming to yours anymore.
I remember sitting there, because you had to watch it in your car. You can watch a show, you can get out of your car, you had to sit in your car. Yeah, and Boris came on the radio, and we looked around, and people were literally leaving because they thought, well, we've got to go shopping now. We can't watch the show. Weird times, very weird times.
How did we ever just follow the crowd of just going?
Just feel like a Netflix show. This is like, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
What you don't know is there's going to be a film that comes out like not Jerry Maguire. What's the Jim Carrey one? The Truman Show.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to come out on Netflix, COVID-19, and it's just going to be like a mixture between The Truman Show and Impractical Jokers. And it'll just be someone in Boris Johnson's ear.
Like the Adam Dexter.
Yeah.
Shut down again.
Tell them that they can't have Christmas with their family. And then none of you will be able to see it. And then leak that you've had a Christmas party. I reckon that would be...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how strange times were, and how the hell did we get from VR cricket to reminiscing? Reminiscing might be the wrong word.
Yeah, definitely wrong word. But yeah.
Reminiscing about the times of COVID. Now, normally when we end these episodes, I don't know why I paused there. That was a strange pause in the middle of a sentence. Normally when we do these episodes, pause. There we go. Tom likes to have a little rant about the world.
Yep.
So, for example, Tom's ranted about Jaguar drivers.
I remember that one.
It was the same rant that you had about golfers.
I remember the golfers.
It was the same rant.
Oh,
I've had a rant about people in shopping centres. Why? The words have just gone. In supermarkets, just
lack of cricket tees.
Lack of cricket. Is there something that you just feel like you need to get off your chest?
Well, I'll be here all fucking night, to be honest.
Right, try and narrow it down
I have turned into a miserable old man.
What is the one thing, or the other feature we had was like Welsh's World, wasn't it? If we're going off to another planet, we've finally worked out how to live on another planet. What's the one thing that you are taking with you?
Taking with me?
Not necessarily an object. Like I think at one point, yours was cricket tees. If we're starting a new cricket tees are a must. We've gone to this other one. There's one rule or there's one thing that you're taking with you that you.
When you said about earlier about ranting, my rant was going to be. Unfortunately, I have a thing called, I don't know if you've heard of it, misophonia. Where slight little noises really irritate the hell out of me. Like It's an awful thing. I didn't realise it was a real thing.
So
about 10 years ago.
we're really glad that you came.
It's only about 10 years ago that I realised it's actually a medical condition where if I want to try, so my thing would be, if you want to come to my planet, fucking learn to eat properly. and no crisps, no sweet wrappers, and cinemas will be no food whatsoever. There you go.
I feel like that's something I could probably get on, because
I haven't been to the cinema for about 10 years because I have been. Sorry, but what I do, I have to go into the cinema with a hoodie on, so I can't see anybody coming in with their fucking popcorn. Nachos. They start selling nachos in the cinema. You come on the screen and say no talking, no phones, but eat the noisiest fucking food in the world. And I go, so I'm sitting in the cinema, headphones on, hoodie over me, saying don't want to see people coming in with food. So when the film starts, I'm just take the earphones out and watch straight ahead. As soon as I see someone eating, I'm like, I see it, I'm distracted.
You've ruined it.
I'm distracted. So trains are the worst thing as well. Trains when people are rustling their papers, or they get on the fucking train with like curry flavoured sandwiches.
That's what. If you,
the whole fucking train.
I think if you get on the train with anything fish-based, if you get on the train with a tuna sandwich, a salmon, I think the conductor should be able to physically throw you off. Like, whether the train's moving or not.
In the old days, you used to have smoking carriages. So if you want to eat, go in and eat in one. If you want no food, no tinny noise of someone's music blaring, or the new one for me now is when people are talking to their phone like that. And, that's the phone. They're going, yeah, mate, brother.
Spends a lot of time in Essex.
Please get off very soon, but no, they're on their way down to Canterbury normally.
Yeah, no, I think I can 100% jump on board with.
That was going to be my rant, basically.
Noisy people.
So I want a planet with quietness. I want quietness these days.
So basically, the only thing that, if Lee owned a shop, the only thing you'd be able to buy would be Jaffa cakes.
Anything soft.
I mean, to be fair, Jaffa cakes and marshmallows, it does sound like the perfect shop.
That'd be nice.
Just flump marshmallow, and then
I understand how people can sit next to people eating crisps. Can you not hear that fucking noise? I think Ricky Gervais does it now as well. I think he's done a few sketches. I think he might have the same issue as me.
Right.
I think he's actually made a few sketches. I think it's on Afterlife.
Maybe you need to try working with him.
I'll just work. We'll just sit here in silence, mate. Brilliant.
I would. There are times I do think. I think I've said this before, that I'm so proud of like being close to London and being a Londoner, and the multiculturalism and everything that's there. It makes me so proud. London is ruined by one thing: Londoners. It's completely ruined by them, because as soon as you hear that, like you said, hey, all right, brother, yeah, I'm just going down to apples and pears. I know you're like, shut up.
I think the thing for me now, when the kids go, right, off to London tomorrow, so take your self-vest.
You've got to take.
That's a little joke, but the first time I used it, there was a stabbing on one of the bridges. Christ. But yeah, it wasn't my kids, actually.
What, doing it, or? I was going to say, I feel like that's probably something you should have mentioned before.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird time. They're saying, take stab-vest, and I got your phone call, or I can't get home till late because there's been a stabbing. That was in the early days. That was only about 5 years ago when stabbings were quite a new thing.
Oh, yeah, they're everything.
Nowadays, just shut the shoulders. Oh, really?
Oh, well, I think this has been a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah, very insightful.
This is the second podcast I've done. I've done one.
Was ours better?
I'll tell you what, a massive difference, and I'm not sure I've lived this here somewhere, but it was during the height of summer, one of the hottest days of the year, and because I fly drone as well, that's my other hobby. 10 years I've been flying drones around, and this is down at Rochester. So I thought, Rochester, they've got that submarine down there. I'm going to get some photographs of the submarine, and the studio was literally around the corner. Brilliant. I'll do,
I think studio for my front room might be a bit of a stretch.
No, this. Anyway, so I got there. I looked at my time and I thought, shit, I've got 5 minutes to get to the studio now. Land the drone, 5 minutes, not a problem. Of course, it's really, really hot, and I've had to not quite jog, but a quick little bush walk, and I've got to the front door. No one there. I've just looked down. I'm just sweating, absolutely drenched, and I thought, oh, then I turn up, take me upstairs into the studio. No windows. Nothing at all. So I'm standing there, and it's just dripping down my face, dripping. And we sit down, we start, and it's a husband and wife team. I'm in the middle, and they look at me, and I start, and I go, towel. And I'm literally the whole podcast like this. I'm sat in the middle with a towel, just going, yeah, VR, myself down. But yeah, that was good fun. But yeah, this has been a bit more relaxed. This is the second one I've done, so I sort of know.
You know what to expect now.
Yeah.
So
first one was awful. Well, it was a good laugh, but it was embarrassing. You know what I mean?
So before Tom messes up saying our social media and people turn off because Tom does it every week and
I do remember it.
I don't think you've got it right yet.
No.
Where can people find you? Where?
Luckily for me, when I first started doing it seriously, at VR Cricket Guy was unregistered anywhere. So I'm at VR Cricket Guy, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, yeah. And then to search VR Cricket Guy on Google, I think I'm top of the list as well. So there's only one of me. You know what I mean? I do get a few people try and do what I do, but they don't realise you've got to do it every day. I think people have done it, and it was great, and then a week later they just stopped.
That's until his son comes on. He's a VR cricket kid.
Well, that's the thing. My daughters are all into the Instagram and stuff. I said, well, VR cricket girls there. VR cricket daughter or something like that. Not even cricket, just VR.
Yeah.
VR gaming girl.
No, don't play cricket. No, that'd be weird. But no, it's very popular. The VR videos on Instagram, TikTok are getting quite popular. So.
Well, you can do our social media.
Yeah, well, I'm about to butcher this.
I know that you've just done it professionally, but we've got to let the amateurs have a go.
So we are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah. If he stops logging me out.
We are From the Boundary. We also have a Patreon, so that's From the Boundary Pod.
Hey, it's getting there.
To email us, that is fromtheboundarypod@gmail.com.
Yeah. I told you to mess it up. So
the Patreon gets you. We'll eventually get you merchandise.
Yeah, we have got merchandise coming.
Really?
We've had a few absolute zingers in here. Like a couple of weeks ago, when I asked Tom how to describe our batting, he replied with briefly. How do we bat? Briefly. Well, okay, that's pretty good. And we have so I reckon in the next month or so, the merch will be up and ready to go.
Oh, excellent.
So you get early access to these episodes, the discount, and there will be my Alexa going off apparently. There will be specials coming out eventually.
What you need to do is record that and then just add it on to the end. So
we have a few adverts. They were at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, really?
We did one for Henry that you will hear when this episode comes out. Not the best at adverts. Take some practice, and after about 4 or 5 takes, you do just go, okay, we're sticking with that one. But thank you very much for your time today, Lee.
Yeah, it's been excellent. Thanks very much.
I've really enjoyed it. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
You can see why I don't actually get to finish, because you jump in with I didn't get to do the last one.
You went, there's merch coming. But
I was about to go, you just jumped in.
You do the whole social media. The episode would be 4 hours long, and we'd have one listener, and that'd be me, because I drive a lot.
Or it's quite lucky that no one had registered at VR Cricket.
Yeah,
so I don't have to,
simple.
just there, just one word, job done.
Nailed it. See you later.
Yeah, excellent. Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Cheers.